Once there was an old man named Mr. Grimsley who lived at the edge of a small quiet town. He was known as the best doll maker in the region, creating lifelike dolls that were adored by children and admired by collectors. His dolls had eyes that seemed to follow you, hands that looked like they could move on their own, and faces so realistic that you could almost believe they were alive. People said there was magic in his hand, but no one knew just how right they were. Mr. Grimsley was a kind man, but he lived alone. He had no family or friends, only his dolls. His shop, a small dusty building filled with shelves of dolls of all shapes and sizes, was his entire world. He rarely spoke to anyone except the customers who came to buy his creations. One day, a strange woman entered his shop. She was tall and dressed in black from head to toe, her face pale as if she had not seen the sun in years. She walked straight to the counter, her dark eyes fixed on Mr. Grimsley. "I have heard you make the finest dolls," she said in a soft, whispery voice. "That's right," Mr. Grimsley replied with a smile. "Would you like me to make one for you?" The woman nodded slowly. "Yes, but this will not be an ordinary doll. I want you to make it with care, with precision. I want it to be perfect in every way. And one more thing," her voice dropped lower. "I want it to be special." Mr. Grimsley was confused. "Special? How so?" "You will know," the woman said mysteriously. "But there is one rule. Once you start making this doll, you cannot stop until it's finished. No matter what happens. Do you understand?" The old doll maker hesitated for a moment, but then nodded. After all, he had been making dolls his whole life. What could go wrong? The woman handed him a bag filled with strange, shimmering fabric and a pair of glass eyes that seemed almost alive. "Use these," she said. Then, without another word, she turned and left the shop. Mr. Grimsley got to work right away. The materials felt odd in his hands, but he could not stop himself. He cut, sewed, and molded the doll, working late into the night. He had never felt so focused as although something was guiding his hand. As he worked, the hours slipped away. Finally, just before dawn, the doll was finished. It was unlike any doll he had ever made. It had long silky hair, skin as smooth as porcelain, and the glass eyes shone like real ones. It was so lifelike it gave him an uneasy feeling. Mr. Grimsley placed the doll on the workbench and stepped back to admire it. But then something strange happened. The doll's eyes flickered. At first, he thought he was just tired, but then it moved. The doll slowly turned its head and looked at him, its glass eyes gleaming with an unnatural light. The old man gasped and stumbled back. "No, that's impossible," he muttered, but the doll stood up, its tiny feet clicking against the wooden table. It walked towards him, and as it moved, a small cruel smile formed on its perfect face. "You made me, Mr. Grimsley," the doll said in a voice as cold as ice. "And now you will do as I say." Mr. Grimsley's heart raced in his chest. He backed away, knocking over tools and supplies in his panic. "This can't be happening. You are just a doll." But the doll only laughed, a high chilling sound. "I am sure than just a doll now, thanks to you." Before he could react, the doll leaped off the table and ran towards the shelf where the other dolls sat. One by one, they started to move. Their eyes blinked open, their limbs twisted as they began to come to life. Mr. Grimsley watched in horror as all of his creations, dozens of them, gleamed down from the shelves. The doll maker tried to run, but his legs felt like lead. The dolls swarmed around him, their tiny hands pulling at his clothes, their voices whispering dark things in his ears. "You can't leave," the first doll said, standing in front of him. "You belong to us now." "No," Mr. Grimsley screamed. He shoved the dolls away and bolted for the doors, but when he grabbed the handle, it would not budge. The dolls were everywhere, climbing the walls, hanging from the ceiling, blocking every exit. "Let me out," he cried, banging on the door. But the dolls did not stop. They dragged him back into the workshop, their tiny hands stronger than they should have been. The first doll climbed onto his shoulder, whispering in his ear, "You will make more dolls just like me, and they will all alive forever." Mr. Grimsley struggled, but it was no use. The dolls forced him back to his workbench, their glassy eyes shining with malice. For days, the townspeople noticed that Mr. Grimsley's shop was closed, but no one saw him. His shutters were drawn, and no one answered when they knocked. Days turned into weeks, and soon people forgot about the old doll maker. But sometimes at night, people would swear they heard the sound of tiny footsteps in the streets. Some even claimed to see small, shadowy figures watching from the windows of Mr. Grimsley's shop. And if you were to look closely through the dusty window of his workshop, you might see the old man sitting at his workbench, his hands moving endlessly, making dolls that would never be just toys again. The dolls watched him with their gleaming eyes, waiting for the next one to come to life. And so, the haunted doll maker worked, trapped by the very creations he had once loved, doomed to create forever.